Soul-Centered is a poetry book that I decided to write about 7 years ago. I grew up writing in a journal when I was younger. Some of the information in my journal I would make into songs and some into poetry. The topics that I write about are topics that we all can relate to. The book is based on truth, consequences, and experiences. Some of them are mine and some of them belong to others. At times I step out of myself and write from a third person's point of view. The book is for mature readers and is available through my website and in all the major bookstores across the country. I decided to write Soul-Centered when I realized that I could express myself through words. People would always say to me after they heard my work, "I've always wanted to say that, but I didn't know how." You know what I mean? So not only did their comments encourage me, but it also allowed me to see that this gift that God blessed me with is real. My purpose for writing this book is to inspire, motivate, and encourage those that want to make a difference or just need another chance to do the right thing. I've always wanted to leave something positive behind after I'm dead and gone, and I definitely believe in second chances. I began writing when I was 9 years old. My first poem was about the Kite Festival in Boston. I shared it with my mother and she shared it with all of her friends. And you know, as I got older, I started writing more because it took me out of reality and put me somewhere where nobody could bother me. I exercised my writing ability by writing about different things people shared with me or things that I experienced. Some of them were funny, some spiritual, some painful, and some of them even dealt with life's lessons that I experienced or witnessed someone else's experience. I actually didn't take my writing serious until I was about 19. I'm inspired by anyone or anything, and it doesn't have to be positive. Over time, I've learned how to take a negative situation and make it positive. I can have a conversation with someone over the phone and be inspired by what they told me. I could be at home, relaxing, watching TV, and be inspired by what I just watched. I listen to a lot of soul music, you know, like Donny Hathaway, Isaac Hayes, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye. They inspired me to bring that soulful element to my poetry. When you listen to them, you felt what they were singing, and that's what I want those readers to feel when they read my material or hear me perform on stage. That's where the soul and Soul-Centered came from. Well, it started with the name Skramm. My cousins called me that when I was younger. At the time, I was about 10 years old and they were about 16, 17. I would hang out with them all the time, but then there came a time when I had to go home and I didn't want to. They wanted to do some grown-up stuff and didn't want a 10-year-old hanging around, so they would tell me to leave, go home, scram, beat it, get out of here, you know. I took the name, gave it a definition, and made it fit me. The name changed when I started performing on stages, you know, because people always related to my poetry because of the topics that I spoke about. So they started calling me Black and then Black Skramm, so it just stuck. Well, right now I have a few things that I'm working on. I'm working on my first children's book. I just finished up putting that story together. The illustrator that I got involved with this project is bananas, man. He can draw images with his eyes closed. I've never seen anything like it. This book is approximately 15 pages long and it's for children between the ages of 7 to 12. I'm also working on my next poetry book. This book is on a whole different level. I decided to take my topics and ideas and just let my experiences from Soul-Centered guide me. Both books should be ready for print and be available by the end of 2009 or the beginning of 2010. Why are the laws in this country designed just to protect women and children? What about the men? Don't we count for something? Why did gas prices go back up after the Democrats won the election? Why is food that is very good for you so expensive and food that isn't so cheap? If we can go to jail for making negative political comments, then why do we have such a law called freedom of speech? Why do these Fortune 500 companies play these corporate games every single year? You know how it goes. The last person hired is usually the first person that's fired, and why are your grandparents still working 2 stressful jobs if they already retired? Why are black people stereotyped as being so lazy? And why do you keep saying that it's not yours when you took the blood test twice and it still shows that you're the father of this baby? Are blondes really that dumb? And why is the government still taking Social Security out of my paycheck every week when by the time I turn 65, there won't be none? Ask yourself, where do most of these new diseases keep coming from? Like the mad cow disease, bird flu, SARS, and Tourette syndrome.